Hello, my peoples, and welcome to Mission 3, Lesson 28. Our student objective for this lesson is to represent and solve three-digit dividend division with divisors of 2, 3, 4, and 5 numerically. There's a lot of, that's almost a tongue twister. Three-digit dividend division with divisors. Three-digit dividend division with divisors. That is a tongue twister. A lot of D's there. All right, so basically what that means, in other words, is that we are going to be solving division problems, a 3 by 1 digit division problems today. The divisor is going to be, we're dividing by 2, 3, 4, or 5, and we're going to do it numerically. We're going to do it with numbers, so using more of that standard algorithm. So let's just dive right into this. So this is from the Tower of Power for this lesson, and yours will probably look something similar. Will be different numbers, but something similar. So we have 455 divided by 3. So once this start off by show the whole. Well, what's our whole here? Our whole is 455. So I have to represent that. How many hundreds are in 455? There's 4. How many tens are in 455? There's 5. How many ones are in 455? It's 5. Okay. Notice I'm dividing by 3 here, just like that's a 2, 3, 4, 5, just as my student objective said. So I'm dividing by 3. I have to add groups to set up to divide. Well, I'm dividing by 3. So how many groups is that? That's 1, 2, 3. 3 groups I made. You got it. Next. Okay, now we're going to share 455 equally with 3 groups. Unbundle if you need to. So what does that mean? That means we're going to divide 455 with 3 groups. So again, I have to start with my hundreds place. So into those 3 groups. So notice I was able to put the hundreds, 3 of those hundreds, 1 in each group, but I'm left over with 100 now. So what does that tell me? I need to unbundle it. So I'm going to just unbundle it, move it down. That 100 becomes 10 tens. Now I'm going to distribute these. How many tens do I have now? I start off with 5 plus 10 more, so I have 15 tens that I'm going to divide amongst these 3 groups. Just click, 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 click. Yes, and I have none left over. I was able to divide 15 by 3 evenly, and I ended up with 5 in a group. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the ones. So I started with, if I look again, I started with 5, right? And I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. Okay, now here I notice I have 2 left, but I have 3 groups. So I can't divide those 2 amongst the 3 because there's too many groups. So I have to leave them. When I leave them, what is that again? Mr. Morrison, that's your remainder. Exactly. Those 2 are going to be my remainder. I got it. Okay. So what should I end up with? We're going to do this with the numerically now, or the algorithm. What should I end up with? Well, I had 100, 5 tens, 1 1. So that's 151 with the remainder of 2. That's what I should end up with. But let's compare this now. Okay, so it starts off, we had 4 hundreds, we divided by 3. How many ended up in each group? 1 did. Reminder, my second step is to multiply. I said, say 3 times 1 is 3. And I do that to say, hey, I used 3 of the 4. And then if I use 3 of the 4, how many of the 4 were left over? My next step is to subtract. So I do 4 minus 3, 1. I had 100 left over. What did I do to that 100? I redistributed it into 10 tens. So that's why my next step is I'm going to bring down the 5 tens that I originally had to show that I had 15 tens. So remember, I had 15 tens after I brought that 100 over. Okay, now I divide again. I start the process over. I divide. I do 15 divided by 3. I had 15 tens. I divided them by 3. How many ended up in each group? There's 5 in each group. 15 divided by 3 is 5, evenly. And then multiply. I had 3 groups of 5. 3 times 5 was 15. So I used 15 of the 15. And then I subtract them to see if I had any left over, and I did not, so it's 0. 15 minus 15, I used all 15 of the tens I had. Now we're going to move on to the ones. I started off with 5. Oh, I'm going to bring this 5 down. Excuse me. First, bring the 5 down. And then I can do the 5 divided by 3. So again, I had 5 ones, and I divided them into 3 groups. How many could I get in each group? 1. I can only fit 1 in each group. So I put a 1 there because 5 divided by 3 is 1. My second step was to multiply. I had 3 groups of 1. 3 times 1. 3 times 1, or 3 groups of 1, is 3. And then I subtract to see if I had any left over, and I did. And that is 2. So 5 minus 3 is 2. Okay, so 5 minus 3 is 2. And then, so that 2, I don't have anything left to bring down. I can see that it is my remainder. That is my remainder. And I'm done. So it's similar to what we've been doing. It's just more work on it. We're kind of expanding numbers, doing that 3 by 1 digit, dividing by 2, 3, 4, or 5. Good luck today on your math expedition.